Tomorrow wide open from the far side. The long pass to Davila, opening him up for three, and he drains it.
Great hustle by Mike Traficante. Cosquet drives inside now, and he gets the bucket. Rejected by Alex Masick. He covered a lot of ground to make that play.
Rejected by Caden Kelly on the defensive end.
And now here's Tamagni for three, and he knocks it down. Great ball movement there. Cootie will toss it up from long range, and there it is. Back-to-back three-point shots.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the gymnasium at Milford High School as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. Once again, this is Tim Coet on the call as we bring you the second end of a boys and girls doubleheader. The Milford girls and the Stoughton girls finishing up just a few moments ago here on the floor. The Milford girls coming away with the victory, and so now the boys hoping for the doubleheader sweep as the Scarlet Hawks get set to take on the Stoughton Black Knights. Milford enters into competition here tonight with an overall record of 8-6. They are 6-5 within league play, and they are just ahead of the North Attleboro Rocketeers for first place in the Davenport standings. So Milford in first place position heading into the later stages of this season. It's been a bit of a rocky go of it for the Scarlet Hawks, much like we discussed about the girls basketball team earlier tonight. Milford a rough patch over their last 4 games. They've dropped 3 of their last 4. The one bright spot over these last 4 games was a dramatic victory for Milford over North Attleboro at the Dunkin' Donuts Center this past Sunday. Wild momentum swings in that game all day long, and the game tied at 55 with 5 seconds left, and Zach Tamagni able to come through with a buzzer-beating layup to deliver the victory for Milford, a key victory within the division. It kept Milford within first place. They then dropped their most recent contest, a 66-53 loss to Mansfield here on the home floor earlier this week. So again, Milford coming into play at 8-6 overall on the season. They need 2 more wins to qualify for a playoff spot, but again, also going for a Davenport Division Championship as they are in first place in the division coming into these later stages of the season. Stoughton, meanwhile, right now in last place in the Davenport Division, just 3-9 overall on the season, 2-8 within league play. Now, going by the records that we took for the Hockomock League coming into the game here tonight, Stoughton did boast the top offensive player in the Hockomock League, Cam Andrews, listed as a Stoughton player, averaging 18.3 points per game, which is the high water mark in the Hockomock League to this point on the season. However, the updated roster that we have received for the Stoughton Black Knights for this game tonight does not contain Cam Andrews' name. He is not listed amongst the starting 5 players for Stoughton here tonight, and we unfortunately did not have much more information than that. So the team that boasted the top scorer in the league does not have that top scorer even listed on their roster, so we do not know if there's been some sort of injury or some other related reason for him to no longer be listed on their roster, but certainly a curious situation, and unfortunately we do not have the answer. So Stoughton will not be playing with the services of the listed Hockomock League leading scorer. Certainly a big blow to a team that is desperate for wins, with just 3 wins overall on the season, only 2 of them coming within league play. And Stoughton suffering a loss to Milford earlier this season. Milford with a 56-50 win over Stoughton in Stoughton back on January 6th. It was the boys and girls playing a doubleheader in Stoughton earlier on the season, with the Milford teams emerging with the sweep. They hope to complete the sweep again here tonight as the Milford Scarlet Hawks take on the Stoughton Black Knights. We will have the opening tip-off when we come back next here on coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV. The Milford gym as rowdy as ever on a Friday night as they get set for this matchup between Milford and Stoughton. The game about to begin. First, the starting fives for these two teams. First for Stoughton, it is number 1, Captain Matthew Val. Number 5, eyes on Swain Price. Number 13, Luis Montero. Number 21, Captain Ryan Sullivan. And number 33, Captain Cam Gomes. And for Milford, it is the captain Anthony Arcudi, Shane Cosquet, the captains Zach Tamagni and Caden Kelly, and Alex Masick, as Tim Coet along with Patrick Garapi bring you the coverage of this contest tonight. And Patrick, really a unexpected situation for the Stoughton team before we get started, expecting to see the player listed as the Hockomock League points leader in Cam Andrews, but Cam Andrews not listed on the roster. Milford, meanwhile, looking for those early points, and Arcudi's shot denied.
Yeah, Tim, and that's a great mention, too. We joked about it. I called him the secret weapon for this Stoughton team. So let's see, A, what number he might be, and B, if we can find him.
Again, completely not listed on the roster. We did check in with the coaching staff, did not correct that. So just a curious situation, but meanwhile, Zach Tamagni able to get the opening points of the night.
And that's a good aggressive play by Tamagni, and something that we want to watch out for. It's the kind of start that the Milford Hawks get off to tonight, being mired in a bit of a losing 3 out of their last 4 games, and against a team that they, by all accounts, should be able to beat tonight.
They played very tough against Mansfield in the gym back on Wednesday. Meanwhile, counted from 3-point range for Montero.
Yeah, great shot by Montero, posted up and ready to go. He made sure that one was nothing but net.
Tamagni looking to answer right back, and he does. 5 quick points on the score sheet in this first quarter for Tamagni. Pushes Milford right back in front.
And that's a really good sign for Milford, too, Tim. Tamagni has been kind of cold in some of the games I've seen him this year, so it seemed to get off to a hot start. It's good.
Stoughton back up the floor, and long range from downtown, counted for Matthew Val.
What a shot there. That is showing some Steph Curry range.
So a couple of threes on the Stoughton side, and Tamagni now again will answer back.
Oh, he's feeling it.
8 points within the first 2 minutes of the first quarter. Tamagni scoring all 8 points Milford has so far, as right now these two teams just trading baskets. A much different looking start to this boys game tonight than what we saw out of the girls earlier. Patrick, unfortunately, not able to join us, but it took us about close to 5 minutes to see the first points of the night in the girls game. These boys teams not having that same problem.
And before we get too far removed from it, Tim, just want to comment on Tamagni making that turnover happen there in front of us.
Now Caden Kelly inside. They feed it right back out to Tamagni, trying to make it 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, but just offline that time. Tamagni, of course, the hero of Milford's win down at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence against North Attleboro, a key showdown against the team right behind them in the standings. Tamagni able to get the buzzer-beating layup to win the game. An 8-6 margin in Milford's favor with still 5 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the first quarter. Stoughton will inbound from underneath their own basket. With the ball up for grabs, Tamagni nearly creating another turnover. With a blocked shot, Tamagni this time comes away with it. Good accurate feed ahead to Cosquet.
Good pressure on the defensive end by Kelly, but Cosquet unable to get the basket for his team.
And now Masick.
That was a nice move with the left hand on the inside there by Val.
So Matthew Val now with 5 points. Masick nearly blocking that shot, but Val getting just enough to sink it. But Tamagni again with the answer. 3 3-pointers knocked down for Tamagni in this first quarter. He is absolutely on fire.
Telling him to give him the rock.
And now Arcudi pulls off the steal. A quick feed to Caden Kelly, and he gets fouled.
Lots of energy tonight from the Hawks early on. This is a really good sign, and we'll see if they can continue up. I mean, it's only been a couple minutes.
An 11-8 lead, and all 11 of those points coming from the red-hot Zach Tamagni. They feed it inside to Masick, who releases it from three-point range. Good-looking shot that time from Masick, but does not land.
You do have to give other players the opportunity to shoot.
Now the bounce pass inside, the shot attempt by Cam Gomes, one of the captains. Now Tamagni tries to force his way in, tosses up a prayer, no good. Kelly there to clean it up, but couldn't finish inside. Now Val, the no-look pass back outside. They feed it back down low to Gomes. Now into the corner for Val. Off the side of the rim, Kelly. Bit of a height advantage inside for Kelly in this game, it would appear. Although a close battle between Kelly and Cam Gomes, two good low post players.
And good early play here from Matthew Val on the side of Stoughton, keeping their team in it right now at a score of 11-8.
Here's Arcudi, he'll feed it in the near wing for Tamagni, gets it back. Now a near steal, Kosket just able to hang on. Masick out to Tamagni now on the far wing, looking for Kosket now. Kosket drives inside, puts it up with the right hand and in.
Great drive around the defender by Kosket.
And so the first Milford player not named Zach Tamagni to put up points in this one, as now Stoughton and Matthew Val swats that ball out of play.
Defense is active tonight, getting in the way of a lot of passing lanes.
Masick sends it back into Kosket, 3:38 to play in a fast-moving first quarter. Kosket now guarded closely by Colin Sanda. Now it's Arcudi who will test his three-point shot, and meanwhile underneath the basket, the clothesline from Matthew Val, a takedown of Tamagni. He hates the call, but a good call away from the ball.
And Val showing a little bit of frustrations here early on too. We saw it just a second ago with that out of bounds play.
Arcudi gets it back in, 3:23 to go. High feed pulled down by Kelly before sending it back out for Tamagni. Masick again will try it from three off the side of the rim. Tamagni gets the rebound, and he will shoot free throws.
And look at the confidence coming from Tamagni as he's trying to get his team fired up, and it looks like it's working.
And Tamagni getting an MVP chant out of the Milford student section as he heads to the free throw line. Milford's first trip to the free throw line tonight. And Tamagni goes 2 for 2. He came into tonight's game in third place in the Hockomock League, averaging 16.2 points per game. And now the three, as you just cannot stop Zach Tamagni in this first quarter.
What is going on here with Stoughton? They have got to have a conversation, talk about that defense and their transition game, because right now Milford is reading everything.
3 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Zach Tamagni already has 16 points. He's scored 16 of Milford's first 18 points on the night, a 10-point lead for Milford, and some kind of first quarter action going on here tonight between Milford and Stoughton. And just an otherworldly performance, Patrick, for Zach Tamagni right now.
I'm speechless. This is not what I really expected tonight. I mean, I expected Milford to come out firing and looking to have a good start to the game, but to execute that the way that they have, and clearly they're in the heads of Stoughton right now. As you see those frustrations boiling over, they've got to find a way to keep this up and not look back, because this is really a good momentum builder as they head down the stretch here in the season.
And right now, 4 3-pointers in this first quarter for Tamagni. He's been lethal from long range. You'd have to think that Stoughton's going to start to overcommit to Tamagni on the floor, and that's really going to start to open things up for Kelly, Arcudi, and the rest of this Milford group.
You would have to imagine that. Let's see how many more shots they end up getting the rest of the night, because I'm not sure they're going to want to give it to anybody else.
So an 18-8 lead for Milford as both teams retake the floor. Stoughton to inbound. Tamagni almost plucking that ball away, but the pass into Sanda.
Look at this press.
Tremendous pressure in the backcourt. Stoughton able to get it ahead. Cam Gomes in trouble, sends it back outside. A clean look from three, but offline for Sanda. And the rebound pulled down by the double-doubles leader in the Hockomock League, Caden Kelly. Now here's Kosket. He gets a good look, and he joins the three-party.
Off and running. Here we go.
5 points now for Kosket. 21 points in the first quarter as Caden Kelly makes the steal. The ball knocked out of play. And it will be Milford basketball. Back in play to Arcudi. He leaves it for Kosket. 2:22 to go in a quarter that Milford hopes will never end. And now the foul will stop the clock with 2:17 to go. And we'll see some major changes here on the floor for Stoughton as they bring 4 subs out on the floor.
Got to find some way to disrupt that momentum that Milford continues to gain.
Head coach for Stoughton is John Gallivan, maybe pulling a lot of his starters out of the game, just hoping they can clear their heads on the bench. But meanwhile, this game getting out of control in a hurry. Here's Masick now with the inside move. Masick gets the layup.
What a layup by Masick going into that traffic, and I think he might have beat 3 defenders there.
Now Stoughton pushes the tempo up the floor. The ball loose on the floor. Tamagni hits the deck along with Josh Kochi. A minute 54 to go. Around the perimeter for the Knights. And plucked away again by Milford. Here's Kosket looking to take it all the way to the basket. No good. Kelly trying to time the jump. But that ball ends up out of play.
Milford playing on a different level right now. And that was Kelly who got a hand in there on the defensive end to create that turnover.
It's a 15-point Milford lead coming down to the final 90 seconds of the first quarter. And here's Kelly. He read that pass all the way, takes it away from Kochi. Now up the floor, Kosket thinks better of the 3. Now they push it inside. Caden Kelly left all alone, and he says thank you very much.
Stoughton is just playing sloppy all over the place now. They're passing, their defense, they're allowing people to get right to the rim. They're not going to be able to sustain this.
And Tamagni trying to make the big defensive play, swatting that ball loose from behind, but got a piece. And he'll get called for the foul. That will send Josh Kochi to the line. One more free throw to go. Makes it a 15-point Milford lead. A minute and 7 seconds left on the first quarter game clock. Tamagni with the ball in his hands. Pass back to Masick. Masick very active in this first quarter. And here's Zach Tamagni, has plenty of space. And a little too long on the shot that time. A rare miss in this first quarter for Zach Tamagni.
I think it's been too long since he's taken a shot.
And now the rejection by Caden Kelly. The ball sent back out to midcourt where Tamagni, with 2 Stoughton players, nearly gets the steal. Now Arcudi with active hands keeps the ball in play, and eventually the ball out underneath the basket. Milford just is bringing an overwhelming energy to the floor. Stoughton cannot keep up.
Kelly has been overwhelming and unbelievable down low in the defensive post there. He's really been dominating tonight.
Kochi called for the foul on Shane Kosket. That'll allow Milford to inbound from just in front of our broadcast setup. with 27.6 seconds to go. Masick into Tamagni. The shot clock is turned off. Now here's Arcudi. He puts it up from three-point range, no good. 15 seconds left. A chance now for Stoughton to play for the last shot of the quarter. Kosket almost comes away with the steal, instead sends it into the cheerleaders.
More sloppy passing, but big points at stake here for Stoughton.
These fans wanting to see a good defensive stand here from Milford to close out the period. 5 seconds to go. They swing it down into the near corner. The shot is well short. Kelly comes up with it, and he will just hang on as the buzzer sounds. The end of an absolutely magnificent first quarter for the Scarlet Hawks. 25 points. And how about the performance from Zach Tamagni in this first half? He knocks down 4 3-pointers and a total of 16 points in the first 8 minutes for Tamagni, leading the way in this impressive start for Milford, a 25-10 advantage. And we have much more to come after this here on Milford TV. Tim Coet and Patrick Garapi bringing you this coverage of Milford High School boys basketball. And if the first 8 minutes are any indication of how the rest of this game is going to go, it's going to be some kind of offensive night for Milford. They post 25 points in the first quarter. And again, 16 of them coming from the captain, Zach Tamagni.
It's been very run and gun so far here tonight, Tim, but at the same time, usually run and gun doesn't imply defense, but Milford's got that too.
Here's Kosket. He tries to force his way inside. The shot doesn't fall. Kelly gets the rebound, and Kosket now with the underhand pass to Kelly, gets it back. 3 seconds on the shot clock as Kelly backs his way in, and he will get fouled.
Kelly looks like a different player tonight than the past games that I've seen him this far in this season. Really attacking on both ends of the floor, and he looks impossible to stop.
Had a chance to watch some of the footage from that game at the Dunkin' Donuts Center, and Caden Kelly, very impressive in the low post in that game. A lot of big athletic moves. He has 7 double-doubles now on the season, which leads the Hockomock League. Missing his first free throw attempt here. Gets the second. Zach Tamagni, meanwhile, getting a bit of a rest to start the second quarter. Coach Seaver, no doubt, hating to have to pull him out of the game as he was in an otherworldly groove. Still in the opening minute of this second quarter as the shot doesn't land for Colin Sanda. You look at the Stoughton team, dressing just 10 players on the varsity roster here tonight. So a bit of a undermanned squad, and they have been overwhelmed by Milford to start tonight.
Many of those players haven't gotten on the floor too already, Tim, after that huge sub out.
Stoughton working that perimeter, trying to find an opening. They're able to feed it inside to Gomes. They wave away the shot, and Gomes called for the travel.
Kelly again on the inside, and that's too bad for Stoughton too, because that looks like some really good ball movement there, and they had something going. Their passing has not been up to snuff so far, so we'll see if they can continue to build off of what was happening there.
Tamagni still on the bench. Kosket loses the dribble, but it ends up in the hands of Tomorrow. Now across the way for Arcudi. He doesn't like the look. Nate Davila on the floor, lets it fly, no good. And the rebound tracked down by Val. Stoughton trying to set a screen. Now back inside to Gomes. Frees himself just enough for the shot, but can't land it. Kosket. Active hands really pestering on defense. Now the bounce pass back outside. Kochi inside. The shot taken by Izon Swain Price, and a couple of players go down. Caden Kelly goes down hard, as does Gomes. The two big men colliding. Both are able to get back to their feet, and a round of applause from the crowd. Kelly immediately taken out of the game, getting checked on by his coach.
Looks like he's doing okay, Tim. I mean, that looked a lot worse than apparently it really was.
Gets to his feet now. He'll take some water, and hopefully he'll be able to get back out on the floor relatively quickly. And the three, count it for Zach Tamagni.
Tamagni finding him on that one, sharing the love.
6 3-pointers for this Milford team in the first half. Pat Brujoli out on the floor right now, taking the place of Caden Kelly, as Stoughton is called for another travel.
And that's Colin Sanda there, and he's a little bit perplexed by that one.
Stoughton has not come through with any points so far here in the second quarter. Here's Davila, he'll drive inside. Now Tamagni back out on the floor. Can't fight his way through traffic, leaves it for tomorrow. And now Davila, along with Joey DeMarco, team up for the steal, but the ball knocked free and Stoughton recovers.
Good effort though by the Hawks there. They are still swarming.
Now it's Gomes again. He's got the advantage inside with Kelly on the bench, but Milford able to close in on him nonetheless.
More hands getting in the lane.
We saw quite an impressive defensive effort out of the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks in the first game of this doubleheader, one of their best defensive efforts of the season. This boys team maybe getting a little inspiration as they have followed suit with just a suffocating defensive presence themselves.
Doubling down, Tim. Rising to the occasion. Looks good tonight.
The lead is at 19 now for Milford. Tamagni in some trouble, but he gets fouled. Stoughton getting a little physical here with Tamagni in the second quarter, trying to slow him down after, again, one of the performances for the ages we saw in that first quarter.
They got to do something at this point. My God, it didn't look like he was ever going to stop scoring points.
Knocks down the free throw.
There he goes again.
Perfect 3 for 3 from the line so far. Ups the lead to 31-10. Nate Davila, good defense at midcourt. Now it's Gomes. He cuts inside, shoots up and over Brujoli for the points.
And nice job by Gomes there, hanging in the air, just getting that floater to fall.
Here's DeMarco. Not quite on the shot. 4:15 to play in the half. Gomes a couple of pump fakes, now dishes off. Gets it back outside. The deep three. No good that time for Montero. Now it's Davila on the other end. He misses, but Brujoli pulls down the rebound and fires a rocket of a pass back out to Tamagni.
It's time to start working the ball inside more. We're seeing more than enough threes so far, but what can they do in the low post?
Caden Kelly perched at the scorer's table waiting to get back in this game. A partial block down the other end of the floor. Stoughton a couple of chances to recover. Finally they do, but the pass sent back outside. It eludes the grasp of Captain Ryan Sullivan, and Milford takes over once again.
Just another careless play and turnover for Stoughton. And the story of their night continues.
Kelly now back out on the floor. And Brendan White also checking into the game for the first time. So it's Kelly and White along with Tamagni, Brujoli, and Davila. And this time the whistle going against the Scarlet Hawks. Pat Brujoli earning some extended minutes here in the second quarter after he came in as a replacement for Kelly, who took a hard fall earlier in the quarter. Tamagni gets a hand on that ball. Now Berjoli as well, but again, Stoughton able to recover from the baseline. They kick it back outside. Milford just an all-out effort. Every pass seems to be contested.
More close calls for Stoughton. I don't know how they're going to survive this half.
A timeout called on the floor with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to go in the first half. A first half that has been dominated by the Scarlet Hawks. They lead Stoughton 31-12. We'll take the timeout as well. Back right after this here on Milford TV. Just under 3 minutes left in this second quarter between the Scarlet Hawks and the Stoughton Black Knights. Stoughton will inbound underneath their own basket. Berjoli defending well out on the perimeter. The ball out of play. It will stay with Stoughton with 26 seconds left on the shot clock. Berjoli will head to the bench now, gets pats on the back from his coach and his teammates after some productive minutes, particularly on the defensive end. Alex Masick back out on the floor. And that inbounds pass contested well by Davila, but Stoughton able to pick it up. And another tipped pass and out of play again. It will stay with the Knights.
Still struggling to find their offensive game here with just under a few minutes to go in the half.
18 seconds on the shot clock. Driving baseline now, and the ball pulled away by Brendan White.
Spark plug.
White able to control that pass, kicking it out to Kelly, whose jumper doesn't fall. Stoughton just sending the ball back out, hoping a player was in the vicinity. Not the case. Milford unable to come away with points this time, but putting the pressure on defensively. Stoughton able to advance it. Now Masick and White team up inside, but the basket lands for Gomes.
Another good play by Gomes there on the inside. Able to muscle his way through about 4 defenders.
He's worked hard in this game, but only 4 points to show for it. Here's Brendan White on the other side of the floor, and the sophomore gets his first points.
This kid's got some game. I love what he brings off the bench.
A minute 50 to go. And a good-looking jump shot for Alex Soquist.
Starting to feel like those first couple minutes again.
Here's Davila. Tamagni again on the bench for these closing minutes. Here's Davila from 3. Nate Davila had 14 points at the Dunkin' Donuts Center on Sunday, including some crucial shots as part of their second half comeback. Gets his first bucket here tonight. And Stoughton answers back with 2 from Justin Lee.
Stoughton starting to find some game here with these jumpers at the offensive end.
Now Caden Kelly out from long range, not his typical comfort zone. Now he gets fed down low, kicks it back out to Davila. He'll take the shot from the free throw line, no good. White nearly pulling down the rebound. The ball deflects out, last touched by the Knights. 50.2 seconds to play in the half. The lead up to 18. And the steal for Kosket. Kosket guarded closely inside by Kochi. And Kosket to the free throw line. With the lead now at an even 20. Milford 6 for 7 from the line here in the first half. Skep misses his second. 30 seconds to play. Milford up to a 21-point lead.
Again, these are important potential points here for Stoughton.
Off the back of the rim for Kochi, and Brendan White pulls down the rebound and then gets the foul from behind. Takes a hard spill to the floor. White keeps it going from the free throw line. One of two.
Good attempt by Arcudi trying to disrupt there and create yet another turnover, but not to be.
Free throws down the other end. Meanwhile, Milford up to 40 points in this first half, on pace to establish a new high water mark in terms of single game point total. Izan Swain Price shooting the free throws on the Stoughton side, comes through with the first. Milford averaging 56.4 points per game. I would say that mark is very much in reach. Final 10 seconds ticking down in the quarter as Arcudi quickly cuts to the basket. And believe it or not, that's Anthony's first points of the night. They'll also be the final points of the first half, but what a first half it was. 42 points in just an absolutely phenomenal offensive effort for Milford, defensively as well. Really keeping this Stoughton offense in check, and you really can't ask for much more than what this Milford team delivered in the first half, Patrick.
No, you just hope that they can do it again in the second, Tim.
So 42-20, Milford with the lead. We'll step away for halftime, and we'll have third quarter action when we come back next. Stay tuned to coverage of Milford High School athletics on Milford TV. We welcome you back inside the Milford gym as we get going with second half coverage of the Scarlet Hawks against the Stoughton Black Knights. And as you can see on the scoreboard, it's been a good night for Milford so far, a 42-20 lead. And Stoughton controls the basketball to start the second half. And they get started off strong as Matthew Val knocks down the three to get us going.
Big early bucket for Stoughton, but can they play the defense to keep up with it?
Milford back with their starting five on the floor, including Zach Tamagni, who dropped 18 first half points. 16 of those came in the first quarter. Tamagni playing at a different wavelength over those first 8 minutes, dropping 4 3-pointers against 16 points and all over those first 8 minutes. He has 18 now for the game. Needless to say, leading all scorers. Stoughton back up the floor after Milford couldn't come through with a bucket on their end. Again, they set it up in the corner. This time the three offline. Taken by Luis Montero.
A good aggressive play on the offensive boards there for Ryan Sullivan. Big rebound there for him.
Still in the opening minute here in the third quarter. And Arcudi perhaps some foul troubles here as the second half gets going. Arcudi upset at himself as he has to head to the bench. Stoughton, meanwhile, looking to string some baskets together to narrow this deficit. They swing it back around to Val. Val takes it to the basket and able to get around Caden Kelly. And a quick 5 points to open this second half for Matthew Val.
And great job with the left hand too at that, going in for the layup.
Now it's Masick again. He'll shoot the three off the front of the rim. We've seen 3 attempts now from beyond the arc for Masick, trying to get that long-range shooting game activated. And now the miss from Montero, and Caden Kelly, amidst 3 defenders, able to come down with the rebound. Tamagni down the other end, shoots it from 3, in and out. And Cam Gomes ahead of steam up the floor, can't get around Cosquet, so he kicks it back out to the perimeter. Milford trying to ramp up what was a tremendous defensive effort in the first half. A miss inside as Tamagni takes the ball out but has it picked off at midcourt. Stoughton sets it up again for Montero from 3, and that is no good. Alex Masick scoops up the rebound as that ball goes hard off the foot of Gomes and gets sent the length of the floor.
You don't see that too often.
Not sure what was more impressive, the sound or the distance.
It was a nice boom. But yeah, Tim, not the kind of start so far that Milford wants. Stoughton right now making baskets and playing some good defense.
And Matthew Val a little too aggressive on the defense of the inbounds pass, gets called for the foul on the push on Cosquet. And Masick again will try to get the ball in, and this inbounds pass coming very close by to the student section, who now start to make their voices heard. And meanwhile, Val and Cosquet get locked up again, and this time the foul gets called on Cosquet.
Milford really needs a timeout here.
And they will get it. Coach Seaver wanting to make sure his team gets back under control. So the timeout called with still 5 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the third quarter. Milford looking for their first basket of the second half. Stoughton with the first 5 points of the quarter. And so we'll step away for the quick break in the action. Back right after this on Milford TV. Out of the timeout, Stoughton controlling the basketball, looking to keep momentum going in their favor. A good start to this quarter for Stoughton. But Milford able to get the steal. Tamagni full speed up the floor and just enough elevation on that layup to get it to go.
Tamagni made that whole play happen, sneaking from behind, picking his pocket and taking it to the hoop.
And now Kelly trying to follow suit, almost knocked that ball loose. Stoughton works baseline, good pass outside to Montero. No good on the shot. Active hands for Ryan Sullivan keep the play alive. Now it's Cam Gomes, gets surrounded by 3 defenders. Tamagni comes away with the ball, takes it all the way himself, and gets the foul. May have had an opportunity to dish that ball to Cosquet for an easier look, but instead Tamagni taking it all the way in.
And that's a good sign for Milford too. Came out a little bit flat here in this half, so Tamagni trying to elevate his team to his level.
Tamagni up to 20 points now. As Milford puts the pressure on in the backcourt, Stoughton advances. And now all alone under the basket. An easy look for Sanda.
Great ball movement there. They looked a step ahead.
Here's Kelly, pulls it down, puts up the shot, but can't make it. And a 7-2 run for Stoughton to start this second half. Gomes, a couple of pump fakes. He'll let it go from 3-point range. No good. But the rebound controlled by Soquist. Now from 3-point range for Kochi. He misses everything, and the student section lets him know it.
Still able to maintain possession, though, despite the air ball.
Zach Tamagni heads to the bench as Coach Seaver gets fresh personnel on the floor. Davila trying to break up that inbounds pass. Right now it's Davila, Cosquet, White, Masick, and Caden Kelly, the 5 on the floor. Gomes again swarmed, the ball comes free, and it will go to the Scarlet Hawks.
unfortunate break there. I think some of the Stoughton players were thinking that ball might have gone off the foot of one of the Hawks.
Here's Kosket now crossing midcourt before sending the pass Kelly's way. Now it's White. Sends it back outside. Now Kosket up and in.
Good ball movement there for the Hawks, getting some more players involved.
Kosket up to 8 points. Now here's Sullivan all the way up the floor. Masick able to get his feet set, and he draws the charge. Masick does that about as well as anybody on the team, Patrick.
I was just about to comment on that. He looks like a pro there.
Three minutes and 28 seconds to go in the quarter. Masick now driving inside, sends it back out to Kosket. Sends it off the back of the rim. Gomes guarded by Kosket. Now Gomes with some space, able to drive inside, and a good pass and a good bucket.
Much more evenly matched here so far in the second. You have to imagine the Stoughton team got a pretty good peck top from their coach.
Stoughton outscoring Milford 9-6 so far. Nine to 4, I should say. Only 4 points scored so far in this quarter from Milford. So that offense that was so locked in the first half, kind of falling flat. Masick couldn't quite handle that lob pass. And the jumper, no good for Philip Silva. Stoughton keeps the possession alive, but the ball comes free. Kosket sees Davila sprinting up the floor. Davila, excellent hands, and lays it in for two.
What a nice lead ahead for Davila, and even better, the finish.
Now Stoughton pushes it up the floor, but the pass can't be controlled, and now here's Milford looking to string together some baskets. Kosket can't quite finish it. White momentarily had the rebound, now forces the turnover. Kosket gets another chance, gets the shot and the foul.
What an effort. Milford is starting to feel it again.
Cranking it back up as they get to 50 points on the night. Pushing that lead back up over 20 points, 50-29, and another timeout taken on the floor, and even 2 minutes remain in the third quarter. This Milford offense heating back up, and we'll see it right after this on Milford TV. Back out of the timeout as Shane Kosket looks to finish off the three-point play. Indeed he does. And it's a 22-point Scarlet Hawk lead.
A really good job by the Hawks to reestablish that 20-point lead after the slow start.
And Stoughton living dangerously with some of those passes, but meanwhile a good backdoor cut by Izan Swain-Price.
At this point, I don't think they have many choices other than to live dangerously. They've got a lot of points to make up here.
Fans want to see Masick shoot it. Instead, he sends the pass inside to Kelly. Clock stopped right now with 1:31 seconds to go. Davila, the inbounds pass into Brendan White. Tamagni back out on the floor. It's Davila who shoots the three, in and out that time. Val takes it back up the floor as we approach the final minute of the quarter. A quick three released by Philip Silva. And with 1:13 to go, Arcudi will replace Nate Davila. Anthony Arcudi fresh off of a 30-point performance in that loss to Mansfield back on Wednesday. He hasn't quite had the same luck here tonight as Kosket tried to feather that pass into Masick, but it ends up out of play.
Stoughton really trying to ramp up the defense now, too. You can feel that they're desperate.
Ball knocked out of play. It'll be Stoughton basketball with 61 seconds to go. The pass inside deflected away. White trying to come away with it. Stoughton gets it back. A couple of chances, first for Philip Silva. And then on the rebound effort, Swain Price gets fouled. Izan Swain Price, one of the top running backs in the Hockomock League. The last 2 years running, of course, Milford knows all too well the damage Izan Swain Price was able to do on the football field in those back-to-back matchups that the two teams had, one in the regular season and one in the playoffs, and Stoughton able to come away with a pair of football victories to knock Milford out of the postseason. Price getting that second free throw. .38 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's Masick, he will drive in. Gets a couple of bounces, but it doesn't land, just bad luck for Masick.
Everything except the finish.
25 seconds to go. Just about a second difference between shot clock and game clock. The drive inside and the finish for Ryan Sullivan.
Sullivan's had a pretty good third quarter for this Stoughton club. Unfortunately, his team just hasn't really been able to close the gap that much.
Here's Arcudi. Looked good on the way up, but could not land the shot. Stoughton heaves it up. And it goes hard off of the backboard support, not a play. That's the end of the third quarter. A 51-34 score. Milford has the lead, closing in on their 9th victory of the season to bring them right to the doorstep of a playoff berth, but still more work to do. We'll see the fourth quarter get started next on Milford TV. Once again, it is Tim Coet and Patrick Garapi on the call for this Friday night doubleheader basketball coverage. We saw a girls win in the first game of the doubleheader action, and the boys looking to seal the sweep. They lead at 51-34 entering into the fourth quarter as Caden Kelly opens the frame with the bucket and the chance for three.
Better start to the fourth quarter than the third, Tim, with that play right there. Milford only able to put home 11 points overall in the third, so a little bit of a lower output in that one for them. But let's see how they do here in the fourth to close things out.
Kelly gets the free throw. So 3 quick points to pace the fourth quarter. Milford already up over their points per game average. They sling the pass Montero's way. Now they feed it inside to Swain Price. Back out on the perimeter as Val drives baseline, and he gets the shot. Milford once again with their starting 5 on the floor. Tamagni, Arcudi, Kosket, Masick, and Caden Kelly. As Tamagni gets fouled from beyond the arc, he'll shoot 3 free throws. The foul going on Izan Swain Price.
And another chance to pad the stats here for Tamagni.
He's at 20 points. Tamagni going 1 of 2 so far. 1 more free throw to go. The lead at 20 points. Val able to navigate through traffic at midcourt. Doesn't know where to go with it. Now it's Montero, the feed to Swain Price. Now Montero, he'll release it. It's offline. Val able to get in for the rebound, but then gets called for the travel.
Just a tough break there for Val. Fell right into his hands. Easy bucket to be had, but just another sloppy mistake here for Stoughton.
Zach Tamagni back out on the floor. He replaces Shane Cosquet. A bad pass that time for Milford, but they get bailed out as Masick finds it in his hands. Now here's Tamagni. Releases it from 3, in and out. Tamagni has not been able to rekindle the magic of the first quarter. 22 points overall, but again, 16 of those coming in the first 8 minutes.
Fortunately, though, able to spot his team a big enough lead where they've been able to sustain it to this point.
Of course, the supporting cast around Tamagni doing a fine job as well, with Milford netting 56 points to this juncture of the game. Caden Kelly pads his stats with another defensive board. Here's Tamagni, now drives to the basket.
Offensive foul. Oh, might have been wrong on that one. Apologize for that.
Don't think the Milford bench was even sure what the call was initially. So put 3 more points in the column for Tamagni. He's at 25 now, so an opportunity to match the 30-point performance of his fellow captain, Anthony Arcudi, from 2 nights ago. Here's Val. He releases the 3. Good-looking shot for the Stoughton captain.
Definitely nice finish there.
15 points on the night for Matthew Val, as he and Montero team up against Tamagni, forcing the Milford timeout. It's called with 5 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the game. 59 points for Milford, 39 points for Stoughton. Closing in perhaps on a doubleheader sweep on the night. More of the fourth quarter next on Milford TV. Brendan White gets the pass into Tamagni. He again gets double teamed. And Stoughton sends the ball out of play. Again, Milford will inbound, as Stoughton really is putting the pressure on in the backcourt with 5:49 to go.
I was just going to say, Tim, that you have to give Stoughton some credit for not packing in and still playing hard in this one.
Arcudi gets the pass this time, and ahead to Caden Kelly. Milford now able to get situated offensively. Zach Tamagni drives inside, tries to float it in. No good. Caden Kelly tracks that loose ball down. Another offensive rebound. Now it's Cosquet. Back outside for Zach Tamagni, and he gets another 3.
Tomorrow's had a few opportunities, and he's been able to make the most of the good majority of them.
2 looks from beyond the arc. He's knocked them both down. Coach Seaver, a lot of praise for Zach Tamagni, along with a lot of his bench players, in particular after the win against North Attleboro. Here's Caden Kelly.
Showing athleticism, flying through the air to the basket.
It's a big move out of a big man, and it puts Milford up to 64 points.
That was pretty.
Gomes with the ball in his hands, trying to find Swain Price, but instead finds Brendan White. And White now getting harassed on the baseline.
Kelly on the inside again, getting a hand on that ball.
And another timeout is called, starting to get into the later stages of this fourth quarter. Just 4 minutes and 26 seconds remain. As again, we take a quick look at the Hockomock League standings. Coming down to the end here, as we get into the month of February, these games take on added importance. Milford, after this game tonight, with 6 games remaining on their schedule, but only 5 counting towards their overall record. As you'll remember, both games against Malden High School do not count towards their overall record. Both the game they played back on December 23rd, they play again in Milford's final game of the regular season on the 22nd. So Milford with just 5 games remaining that count towards their win total. Looking for win number 9 tonight to stay ahead in the Davenport standings. Milford, the first place team at 8-6, 6-5 within Davenport Division, or Hockomock League play, I should say. The ball in the hands of Joey DeMarco, and DeMarco will get called for the travel as he loses his footing. Milford's best point total on the season came as part of the Scarlet Hawk Classic in their win against Tantascwa, 69 points, a 69-46 win. An opportunity here with still 4 minutes and change to go to establish a new season high single game point total. Here's Cosquet, takes the pass from Caden Kelly and then sends it back out. They feed it back in the low post. Kelly turns around, can't finish. Now the long pass. Stoughton loses control. The ball goes out of play and back to Milford with 3:41 to go.
And just another tough break for Stoughton here, as Milford trying to wrap things up here and put a nice little bow on it.
Cosquet getting guarded closely. Gets up the floor, finds Pat Bergioli. And Bergioli, who played a decent chunk of the second quarter, now back out there and gets his first points.
And a good hoop there, no chance for the defender.
Again, they feed it to Gomes. Milford's made life very difficult on Gomes inside tonight. The miss from long range, and Cosquet, a good job wrestling down the defensive rebound. Now floats a pass, but right into the hands of Colin Sanda. And now the contact will send Alex Soquist to the line.
Just not quite enough oomph on that pass, never made it over to Brendan.
And it looks like the senior captains, Arcudi and Tamagni, are going to get back into this game one more time. They both sit at the scorer's table. And back out on the floor now as Cosquet heads to the bench. Brendan White follows suit. Zach Tamagni sitting on 23 points. Misses at the free throw line, and Zach Tamaro able to come away with the rebound. Now here's Joey DeMarco, who gets rejected inside. Pat Bergioli, an attempt no good. The ball still up for grabs. DeMarco saves it. Back outside to Tamaro with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Now Arcudi with the handoff to Tamagni. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock as Tamaro's in trouble. 1 second. The shot tossed up by Tamagni that just somehow was able to get some rim, but Stoughton controls the rebound. Stoughton back to the free throw line. This time it's Val.
Val's been one of the stronger players for Stoughton in this game, but Story, as with the rest of the team, is just inconsistency.
couple of good free throws for the Black Knights. Makes it a 22-point Milford lead. Tamagni, again with a couple of defenders in tow, loses control. It gets fouled on the way down. Tamagni 8 of 9 from the free throw line with one more coming up. Well, for 2 points shy of their high water mark on the season. Swain Price kicking it back out. Stoughton taking their time here. The shot clock down to 3. Someone's going to have to toss it up. They put it in the hands of Kochi, and his shot gets blocked, and Stoughton gets called for the shot clock violation.
Great play by Tamaro there. He was waiting for that.
Zach Tamagni hoping he could finish out this game, but he gets called to the bench. Replaced by Spiliakos. Anthony Arcudi still out on the floor, sends the pass out Spiliakos' way before handing off to Tamaro. Tamaro's pass to Arcudi intercepted, but Arcudi able to get back defensively. Milford finishing out this game with the same intensity with which they started it.
I don't know if they're aware or not, Tim, of the fact that they're so close to their season high in points, but assuming they are, you know they're going to want to top it.
A missed 3 as Stoughton tried to swat that ball out of play off of Milford. It stays on the floor, and Stoughton able to recover, and Montero's shot rims out. Spiliakos now in trouble, trying to get the pass away to Luke Capobianco. He gets there, and Coach Seaver could see his team in big-time trouble in the backcourt. He calls the timeout. Stops the clock with 64 seconds to go. Milford up big 67-44. The girls with a win early. The boys just a few seconds away from sealing the deal on their end of this doubleheader. It's been a good night of basketball so far here in Milford, and we'll see it finish up when we come back next here on Milford TV. It is Milford by 23 as the two teams are back out on the floor. Just 1 minute and 4 seconds remain. That ball ends up out of play. You can see right now Shane Koskett on the bench talking things over with a former teammate in the house tonight, Dwight Anderson. Milford's leading scorer the previous 2 seasons, one of the Milford's leading scorers, taking in this game as a spectator and seeing a good offensive effort. Brajoli putting up the shot for Milford that time, no good. Long lead pass for Stoughton, and a nifty play on the back end by Philip Silva.
Really great finish there.
It's just Silva's first points of the night as Anderson now talks things over with his former teammate Anthony Arcudi. Anderson with a lot of big shots in this Milford gym in his 4 years with Milford.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine the memories are flooding back at this point, and that he really approves of this effort.
Here's Spiliakos now, he gets fouled. And Spiliakos heads to the free throw line. The fans love seeing some of the bench players get a chance to play in the back end of this game. Speliakos a little too amped up on the free throw attempt. 37 seconds left. And it looks like Milford might fall just shy of establishing that new point high. Stoughton unleashes the three, no good. The ball tipped back out to midcourt. Bergioli has it. The bounce pass to Capobianco. He takes it to the basket and it gets rejected.
Stoughton says, no, you will not break that high water mark on us.
It stays Milford ball with 17.4 seconds left. And in all likelihood, you think Coach Seaver is going to tell his team to just dribble this clock out. The ball into Tomorrow, and a steal late here for Philip Silva, and a bit of a body check on the back end for Capobianco, maybe a response after that hard rejection.
Hard to say, but you just want to see these guys finish the game clean at this point.
Philip Silva back at the line. Missed attempt that time for Silva. One more coming up before the final 12.2 seconds elapse. And Silva, a pair of misses. Speliakos comes in for the rebound attempt, gets locked up with a jump ball. Possession arrow benefits Milford.
How about one last chance?
Into Speliakos, getting trapped in the backcourt, and again the jump ball, and so it will go back to Stoughton with 5.6 seconds to go. And so close. Milford at 67 points, just couldn't get back down the floor for one last go-round.
Well, if Milford didn't know, then Stoughton certainly did.
One last three jacked up for Stoughton, no good. The buzzer sounds, and it finishes off quite a night here in the Milford gym. The boys jumping out to an early 15-point lead in the first quarter, and they did not look back. 67-47, Milford wins it by 20. They win their 9th game overall on the season, and much like the girls did in the first half of this doubleheader, this boys team now pulls themselves, Patrick, within one game of solidifying a playoff berth, and really looking strong as they continue to lead the way in the Davenport division.
This was a big win, and it was established early on by Zach Tamagni. He set the pace for his team. And we talked about it too. They needed a win after losing 3 of 4 games as they head down the stretch here. And they have to feel good about that point differential heading into the next one.
Tamagni ends up leading all scorers with 26 total points. Milford the win here tonight. They'll now head out on the road for back-to-back Davenport matchups. On the road on Monday, February 6th against Canton, and then on February 10th, another matchup with Foxborough before they come back here next Monday for another, or excuse me, they'll stay on the road for 3 straight, I should say, with a matchup against North Attleboro coming up on the weekend. So 3 tough Davenport battles on the way for this boys team. And just one win in any of those games will seal the deal for a playoff spot for Milford, but they have their eyes again on much more than that as they hope for a Davenport Division Championship. Well, a big thank you to our Milford TV crew on hand for 2 games tonight, a successful doubleheader here tonight, and our director for the game, Rob O'Keefe, our camera operators, Malcolm Zale, Robert Arujo, and John Giacomuzzi, and for Patrick Garapi, I am Tim Coet. The final score in this final game of the doubleheader, it ends up being a sweep for Milford as the boys finish it off strong with a 67-47 win over the Stoughton Black Knights. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.